Greetings, friends. How are you today? Let me read for you the Serenity Prayer, the short version, of course, not the long one. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I always find that very, very profound in the sense that life happens. You cannot determine what's going to happen. You try, you do your best, you plan. Is my nephew Richard who tells me, man plans, God laughs. Because your plans are your plans, your creator has his or her own plan. Who knows what gender is God? Anyway, let's not get into that. Yeah, so I was having a conversation yesterday with a good friend of mine who's been my banker for many, many years. He still is, although I don't have much to bank. But once in a while, we sit and have a cup of tea and we have a chat. So yesterday we were discussing about the problems that people encounter in life. And I told him an example of many years ago. I lost my job in a place where I had not done anything wrong. I was wrongly accused, and certain parties, did something and then blamed it on me. And so, of course, I was relieved of my duties. And then I went to court, and because I had irrefutable proof that I did not do anything, that I did not do what I was accused of, and I had proof of who did it, I assumed that in court we will eventually get the correct verdict, that I would be absolved of blame and compensated. And so I built my own life, my whole life, on waiting for this particular compensation, and kind of stopped a lot of other things, and would be saying that when I get this money, this is what I'm going to do. And so the case dragged on for 15 years. Those 15 years, my life was at a standstill, kind of, just waiting for this big moment when now things will happen. And then I lost the case, and I was devastated. I mourned for a while. Then my son talked to me and opened my eyes. And I realized that a lot of things that happen in life, it is important you move on as you expect. Because there are those things that you can do something about, which you can change. There are those you can't. And that wisdom to be able to know the difference is very, very important. So I didn't have the wisdom at that point to know that this is something that I have no control over, that it could go either way. So I was telling my friend, he also has a similar problem where he lent somebody some money, and this person has been paying him for a number of years. And his life has come to a standstill. Every time I talk to him, he's talking about this money he's expecting from this friend of his, who also happens to be a friend of mine. So yesterday I gave him that story of my waiting for this. The claim was 430 million at that point. Of course, the court might have given half of that, or even a quarter of that. Or even if somebody gives you 50 million or 20 million, you don't have to pay back. It's not a loan. That's a major boost. So, I told him in this case that I'd been sitting there waiting for 430 million, less whatever percentage the court would decide to take away, and then I'd pay the debts that I have and put up some investments, buy apartments. I was going to fly. And then that one day, I think it was January 18th, or was it 15 or 17th? Anyway, it was January of 2018. And this matter had started from 2003. So, there was everything I've been dreaming of. And so I had to start from scratch and start struggling. And so I told my friend that he should assume that debt will never come. He will never get paid because he's not been paid for several years now. He will never get paid, but he needs to move on in his life. And therefore, he needs to start on the small thing. Forget about you're waiting for you or whatever. Yes, it could come, it could not, it might not come, but let it find you along the way. So my message today and about why I started with the Serenity Prayer is because it is very important to be able to understand those things, that there is that which you can do, that which you have control over, and there is that which you have no control over. But life must continue. And therefore, whatever you are waiting for, whatever break you are waiting for, go and do the small stuff. Make sure that you are moving, you are crawling, whatever. Whatever speed you're going at least you're going. So that if that break comes, then all it will do is to boost you. If it doesn't come, you still continue. I believe I have communicated to someone. May you all have a terrific Tuesday and may you all be blessed.